Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we ask him to send peace and blessings on his beloved and our beloved Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Just a few narrations for tonight. The chapter on it being makruh to sleep after Isha and to speak after Isha. Imam Malik narrated that it reached him from Sa'id, the narration reached from Sa'id al-Musayyib. They used to say it is makruh, disliked, to sleep after Isha, before Isha, and to speak after it. Imam Malik narrated that he has reached him that Aisha, Lady Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, our mother, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that she used to send a message to the household of the family after Isha. Ala turihun al-kuttab, will you not let the angels karam kav rest? Because people were talking after Isha. Give them a break, so they can, because they're writing still. And usually after Isha, there's ulama, imams that used to, after they finish the dars, they used to tell their students that to take different paths, so they don't talk along the way. So because usually it goes for a very long time, and you realize a lot of time gets wasted. So Allah turihun al-kuttab, will you not give a rest to the angels that are writing your, and upon this is majority of the people of knowledge. Obviously, if there's a dars or something beneficial or a meeting that is beneficial for the community, but just normal, this excludes sitting generally with the family. There's a limit also on that as well. We have other ways today. We don't talk to each other. We listen to other people that are talking, or other people that usually on the screen. That would also, maybe that's like a worst version of that. Because many things are happening there like that, so news, and although to know what's happening with the world and so forth, but you can find that at any time. We're stuck in this 24-hour news cycle now, unfortunately, where everything, like you can't wait till the next morning and so forth. Like we have to constantly know what's happening in every part of the world, and a lot of the internet is that, unfortunately. The chapter on the one who gets one rakat of the Fajr Salat and the one who gets one rakat of the Asr Salat, then he has got the Fajr Salat and Asr Salat respectively. And like that, all the other Salat. But it's haram to delay to this limit, meaning right until the end of the time of Salat. Like to pray Zuhr, to pray Asr right just before sunset. If you got one rakat, you got the beginning of Salat, you've got the Salat. It's not qada, you're doing it in its time. But to leave it to that is haram without necessity. For example, someone is traveling or some difficulties there, or something extreme happened and a person was not able to do their salat. I talked about that last week, the reasons why we delay salat. So Imam Malik narrated from Zayd bin Aslam, who narrated from Ata ibn Yasar, who narrated from Yusr bin Sa'id, who narrated from Al-A'raj, and all of them narrated from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, whoever gets this is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, whoever gets a one rakah, or the first rakah, like one rakah, before in the morning before the sun rises, and whoever gets then he's got the Fajr, he got the Fajr Salah, and whoever gets one rakah Asr before the sun sets, then he's got the Asr. Imam Malik narrated from Ibn Shihab that from Abu Salama bin Abdurrahman, who narrated from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever catches the one rakah of Salat, then he got the Salat. Imam Nafi narrated from Abdullah bin Umar that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, the one who misses Salat Asr, it is as though that he has lost all his family and his wealth, all his properties. That it's the calamity of missing the one Salat is more severe and more worse. It's like a calamity. And this, if it happened to somebody, people who miss, there's something I was reading in the early Muslim, if they miss Jamaat, then they were so grieved, not qada, they didn't miss Salat, they just missed Jamaat. They used to visit almost like Taziyah, like aza, like to comfort like that's because it was like one of my teachers saying, in 1 year, there's someone from Melbourne, I won't mention it because I mentioned it prior, in 1 year he only missed one takbir ula, and he cried over it. There's people like that, it's not like people live that you've met in Melbourne like that. 1 year he goes only one takbir ula, takbir al-tahrim, and the first takbir in Jamaat in the masjid, that he missed in 1 year. So Imam Malik narrated from Yahya bin Sa'id, they narrated from Umar ibn Khattab, that Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, then he finished Salat al-Asr, he met a man who he was coming on the way to Asr, And he said, what prevented you, ma habazaka anil salat al-asr, what stopped you from getting on time? And the man said an excuse, and Umar said, like, you've missed out, like that's a loss for you. You know. Now this could be seen. See, Umar radiallahu anhu is asking after the matter of fact, like he's done something, and then he's checking on him. First the questioning, not to put him down or anything like that, but he just, because Umar radiallahu anhu is always watchful. Who's in salat, his governors, like one of the people was not there in Fajr. He's Amir al-Mu'mineen Khalifa, he's got big things to worry about. One person was not there behind him. He went to his house and he asked his mother what happened and why. He goes, he's asleep. He goes, what happened? He said he prayed tahajjud the whole night and prayed Fajr right at the beginning time. He was too tired to come to the masjid. He said, I prefer him coming to the masjid to pray in Jamaat than to pray tahajjud all night. Like Umar, like not just like at the macro level and the schemes and sort of thing. No, at even the micro level tarbiyah, like he was on it, like on every little radiallahu anhu, like he was on every detail, you know. So it's subhanallah. He said, so he told the man. So he's almost like this comes out of a person who cares. Umar radiallahu anhu was not a harsh person, but he was hard on the truth. There's a misunderstanding about Umar radiallahu anhu, and he, from head to toe, if you know his psychological profile, is that he's from head to toe, his only concern is the well-being of the ummah. All he cares about is that the ummah should do well in everything, deen, dunya, and everything. That's all he cared about. So if you see the way his firasat and his foresight and the things that Allah open on him and what he's concerned about, because he cares about the ummah so much. He cares about this person. To stop him, he could have just ignored him. But he said, what made you late? What prevented? He said, I had an uzr, I had an excuse. Meaning I had a shari'i proper excuse. He said, you missed out. Like there's no excuse that is sufficient. You know, like so it's that much care is taken. Imam, if we see someone doing wrong, then someone's down, we give him a kick. You know, this is not the attitude. Someone is doing something wrong. There's no point in telling him off to make him feel bad. Like that's not a thing in deen. Like just to make him feel bad. Like someone is down and someone's wrong, then we just give him another one. You know, like to make him feel even worse. As one sheikh said when he came here, he said, if people are like you, like he was, in Australia, because the person just kill himself, like he has to deal with you. After he's done the sin, then we help shaitan and make him feel. Because shaitan, after making the person do wrong, then he makes him mayus, he makes him hopeless and despondent. Like we have to help each other, lift them. I mean, sometimes you see the sickness. That's why Mashaykh, they should not mention the sickness of the ummah. Because there's no point. It turns people off. If you start talking about the sick, this problem is happening here, this problem is out there, they're like this. I remember one talk was I had to tell him to stop, give us some targheeb. He said, give us some encouragement. It was a half an hour complaint. Like I was like, if by the end of it you feel depressed, all right, I'll just go home. I don't want to come here again. So we have to targheeb is part of deen and tarheeb is also part of deen. Tarheeb is also there. But in this time, people switch off very, very quickly. Jannah and Jahannam are mentioned together in the Quran always, in every juz of the Quran. But if you start talking about Jahannam too much, people get switched. They don't have the himma or the thing to take. Actually, by reading Jahannam, a person should strive more. The Hadith mentioned, Jannah talibuha la yanam. The Jannah, the seeker of it, doesn't sleep. And Jahannam, the one who runs away from it, flees from it, he does not sleep. So it's supposed to have the same effect on a person to make him work and do amal and so forth. But anyway, Imam Malik narrated from Yahya bin Sa'id that he used to say, indeed the worshipper that prayed, that what he has missed from the time was greater and more virtuous. يعني ولما فاته من وقتها أعظم وأفضل من أهلي ومالي. What he has lost out, because usually the reason why what's the reason why we miss out on the salat or is family and wealth. These are the two things. So he said, but what he has missed is much greater and more virtuous to get the early time of the salat. According to Imam Shafi Rahimahullah, the one who gets the rak'ah based on the hadith, he has, and the rest is outside of the salat. Let's say he got the first rak'ah, he got the takbir, or he got the first rak'ah, and then the other three rak'ah, then he has prayed. He's not the same as the one that has done qada. like a person, like 1 minute early he started, another one started 1 minute later. The 1 minute later he's missed the time, which is worse. Imam Hanifa Rahimahullah said this is only specific to the Salatul Asr. And there's a reason that argumentation Imam Hanifa gives, because after Asr is another time, after Zuhur is another Salat time. After Zuhur is what time? Asr time, immediately after. There's another Salat time that is mashru'. And after Asr time finishes, even though you shouldn't leave it till the end, there's another Salat of Maghrib. And after Maghrib time, there's Isha. And after Isha time, even though you shouldn't leave it after the middle of the night, but if you prayed Isha right at the last 1 minute, not that you should do it, but there's another Salat Fajr. But after Fajr Salat, there is actually no prescribed Fard Salat. Hence, he made a differentiation between it. But in this narration, Shah Waliullah Muhaddis Dehlawi says that in this narration is a proof that the one who has a uzr, when the uzr, the excuse ends, and there's time that remains enough for one rak'ah, then he has to pray that salat. And there are the uzr can be sometimes extreme. It could be life or death. It could be a war. There's a uzr like of different grade, not like any uzr, but there could be extreme uzr. But as long as he's got that time, 1 minute, one time, one rak'ah, then he has to pray the salat, and he got that time. The next chapter is on praying Asr and Isha together. Imam Malik narrated from Abu Bakr Zubair al-Makki, who narrated Sa'id bin Jubair, who narrated from Abdullah bin Abbas, that he said that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed Dhuhr and Asr together, and Maghrib and Isha together. There was no fear, meaning it wasn't a battle or war, and neither was a journey. Yahya said, that Imam Malik said, he said, I think this was because of rain. There's rain, and then there's rain. And there's rain, like if you've ever been in a village when it rains, like with no roads and paved parts, that rain is, you cannot even walk in it. I experienced it when I was in somewhere near Multan or somewhere. And when it rained, it's a village, Gilliwala, there's a village near Multan, and in 97 we're there. And then the road, when it got muddy, you can't even walk. It's like the mud's like that, and you're struggling to walk. It's dangerous actually. So there's rain and there's rain. So this is an extreme uzr. Majority of the ulama, they go to praying two salats together without an excuse. Of course, the Hanafis, they say under no circumstance you're allowed to join salat except you're in Arafah and Muzdalifah. That's to do with the Hajj only. And not other than that, you cannot join. What you can do to come in line with these hadiths, you pray Zuhr at its latest time, in Zuhr time, because you have an uzr, as the previous chapters, and you pray Asr, for example, at its early time. So it looks like you're joining the prayers, but in reality you're praying Zuhr in Zuhr time, and Asr in Asr time, Maghrib at its latest time, and Isha. This is an extreme. So this is a way to combine the du'at. But the other madhab said no, you can pray Zuhr and Asr in Zuhr or Asr time, and you can pray Maghrib and Isha in Maghrib or after Maghrib or Isha time. Imam, so he said that Imam Shafi Rahimahullah, regarding this, he said this is for the one that is raining, Mamtur, the one that rains upon him, that he can join the two prayers. And this salat has, the rain has to be there from the beginning of the salat until its end, right? The rain is that when the salat starts, the first salat, let's say Zuhr and Asr are being joined. If the excuse is heavy rain, then the rain should be there at the beginning, and if the salat, and after he finishes the first salat, because imagine you pray, the rain started in the middle of, like you started praying Zuhr, and you intend to pray Asr, and then in the middle of it stops. The uzr is gone now. So you have to have the uzr for the next salat. Then you should pray, then you have to come and pray Asr, for example, Asr time. Imam Ahmad has also permitted this for the marid as well, for the sick person, that to join their prayers. And some of the Shafi'is has also preferred this, and they differed within the Shafi'i school. The Imams, they differed on this. Imam Malik Rahimahullah said that this is regarding rain. No.
Yeah, just a bit of a footnote. Your father, Allah yarhamu, he once did it here a long time ago. I can't remember how long. When it was we had the light outs, it was a blackout, extremely wet and windy. I think we remember praying, and he combined the salats. I think he used that particular hukum. And also in Northern Europe, I remember, where there's really short nights in the summers. I remember praying in, I think, Belgium once. It was about 10:20 Oshikane. it was like 2:30 Fajr starts, and they combined. They were surprised they made azan after praying Maghrib, the Aisha as well. I think they must use that problem as well, mate. Allahu Akbar. Because it was like 12, 15.
I thought you almost said they combine Isha and Fajr. I think that's a yeah.
Allahu Akbar, if they use that same problem because of the circumstance.
I think the timing doesn't. Wallahu Alam, the timing doesn't make a thing to it. It's more there's an uzr there. Whether that's an uzr or not, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I was in a mosque and that happened. So I was staying in this town.
As long as they didn't combine Isha and Fajr.
No,
Inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and tawfiq. Like the also always is better. It's afdal always to pray salat in its time. Even the imams that say you can join them, they're allowed to join it, but they always say it's better afdal an tusalli fi waqti. It's better that you pray in its time. And some people make it like it's wajib, you have to join it. It's not wajib to join it. It's mubah, it's permissible. It's not makruh. The mazahib that do say that you can join it, I was teaching today some students, and they don't saying it's why you have to. They're not saying it's wajib, you have to do it. If you see the books, it said it's permissible. It's mubah, permissible. It's not mustahab to do it, and it's not makruh if you do it. It's permissible. But some people, I was in last thing I mentioned that one brother, Shafi'i, he prayed Zuhr time. We're in the airport in Qatar. We prayed and he didn't pray. So he asked me, Shafi'i from Sri Lanka, so he said to me that I haven't prayed my Dhuhr. I said, pray Dhuhr and Asr will pray in Jeddah. We're on the way for Umrah. There was some local Qataris. So they said, big beards, they look like, shuyukh or something. And they said, they stopped and they straight, Salli Jama'. Like they gave an Amr, pray Jama', join him. I said, no, we have a lot of time in a couple of hours in Jeddah, in the airport, through processing for Hajj. And so he insisted. I said, قال الشيخ ابن عثيمين رحمه الله تعالى. Shaykh ibn Uthaymin said in this book. I said I shouldn't name drop, Shaykh drop. And I said he said in this book that's better to pray in the time always, even if you have the uzr. If you can, why not? Let's say you're traveling. At Zuhr time you're going to be in this mosque. Asr time you're going to be in another mosque. Like you're traveling on the way. There's 2 stops. Pray Zuhr time and Asr, and for those madahib that permit it, there's there, but you're going to be in a mosque anyway, so you might as well pray Zuhr time and Asr time. Then you get out of all the ikhtilaf, right? And there's a rule, I was mentioning this, the khuruj min khilaf mustahabbun. Going out of the ikhtilaf of the madahib is mustahab, because that's like a better way to be. Like you go out of all the difference of opinion, right? So for example, like the footwear in Umrah, for those who are going Umrah or Hajj, one mazhab said you can cover the heel, the other one said you can't cover the toes, the other one said you can cover the top, the other one said you can't cover the top. But if you wear flip-flops, thongs, chappals, Hawaii chappal, if you wear them, you go out of the khilaf of all the madahib. I said, wear this, and if you don't want to wear this, there's really good ones you can buy for $80, $100, nice ones with special soles. I'm not talking about the Ummah Center bathroom chappals, like use them. But you wear you can get some good ones. But it takes you out of the khilaf of all the mazahib. So you wouldn't even have to deal with it. It's not an issue then. So when I said that to them, they went quiet. And that's the thing, like these imams have already said, they were insisting that you have to do Jama'. And that's out of place. That's wrong to give a hukm of like that. I wasn't trying to make it, because there's a rule also that you should have made niyat for Jama' in the first time as well. So I said, you have to make niyyah for Jama' in the time of the first salat. So I told him, pray Dhuhr and then we'll pray Asr over when we get there, inshallah. And there's place there to pray, there's wudu facilities. So anyway, Jama' is there, the uzr is there. Again, I mentioned that in the Hanafi mazhab, there is no, only Jama' is done is in Arafah and Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah, there's no issue. The strange thing is in the Shafi school, the reason why you do Jama' in Arafah and Muzdalifah is why? Not because of Arafah and Muzdalifah, because it's for Safar. So if you're a muqim in Makkah as a Shafi'i, you stay there for a week before Hajj, or before you stay there for 4 days. You become a muqim in Hajj and in Arafah Muzdalifah, you will do complete salat. You don't do Jama' in Qasr. Right? You're not a musab. This is not. But in the Hanafi mazhab, you can join. So there's a leeway here, a leeway there. Don't try to combine them for your own benefit. Some people do. But the point is that there's a reason for why they have a difference of opinion. So the Hanafi mazhab doesn't throw away the hadith of Jama', not only in Arafah and Muzdalifah. Outside of this, you do Jama' Suri. It looks like, in appearance, it looks like Jama'. But Zuhr at Zuhr latest time, Asr at its early time, Maghrib at its latest time, Isha at its latest time, and Isha, Maghrib at its latest time, and Isha at its early time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and tawfiq to practice. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanakallah bihamdi, inshallah, and astaghfirullah, atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, salamun ala al-mursaleen, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.